Hey guys, welcome to Bear It All, the podcast with your girls, Jay
and B.
And Day.
Liz.
Hey,
Hey.
and Che is not here today.
Yes. Missing
We
Che,
miss
as
you,
always.
Yes.
I know. I feel like it's been like forever since we've kind of like caught up because everybody's been in their like vacation time and busy family
Dancing.
Yes.
dancing.
Trying to be a hoochie mama.
Oh yeah, the carnival.
Carnival.
So how was that?
I'm actually doing it again next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It
A lot
wasn't
of
naked
fun?
enough.
You said what?
I wasn't in naked enough.
You wasn't naked enough.
No.
You
Your
looked
costume,
bomb, okay?
yes.
You
The
looked
costume was
absolutely amazing.
gorgeous. Your
Yes.
Makeup,
was
I would have
gorgeous.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The girls, I have to admit, the makeup artist did an awesome job.
Yeah.
My hair lady. So
How many days was it though? It was over.
the parade was 2 days,
Okay.
Okay.
but by the first day, dancing 8-10 hours. I think you
So
started.
that's
at
what I was going
11.
to ask. How
11
long
until
is it?
6 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, wow.
Exactly. But that pre getting ready at 6 in the
Mhm.
morning, getting your makeup done, your hair done, all of that. It takes
Just to be a beauty queen. Ugh.
And are you doing
Yes.
touch-ups in between? Because
No,
the
no touch-up.
heat and dancing,
No.
you sweating out your...
No?
no touch up.
Yeah, that
Really?
makeup.
That just
Yeah,
stayed the way how
right?
they did it. I was surprised.
Okay.
Did you meet anybody in Carnival?
Met a few people.
Like, do you get more attention? Well, because you're like half naked, you got everything was out. Lips,
So it's the
all-
opposite, actually. Believe it or
Oh,
not.
okay.
They respect you more because they know it's your costume.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
go
It's
after
business,
you.
yeah.
Right.
That's why when people make comments, like I got a few comments, like because
When you
of the
post it.
age and
Uh-huh.
post it, I'm like,
Because your age.
yeah.
Really?
When you have Spanish, they have
Girls,
something
how
to
did you
say.
look?
You know,
I would
they-
think that would be the other way
Right.
around.
I would
Right.
think
Yeah.
so too.
Yeah.
But some people have some beautiful comments
Yeah,
that I
'cause
really
my-
like. You know,
My
what?
Spanish side is like, come as you are, wear what you want. We don't
Uh-huh.
care if you 90. You know,
Well, you're
Put
you're
it
always
on.
gonna get that anyway.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like us women, like we tear each other down so much.
Mhm.
No, maybe
so-
because I used to be very conservative. That's the thing. So
Oh,
I
now
did
you're a
the
wild
Hoochie mama.
180, so they didn't expect me
Oh, wow.
to me even. So that's why I said next year. I told the lady, I said I need to be actually one head, one tipsy one day, and one head. That's it.
That's all
Nothing
you
else.
want.
Well, I think people
That's
don't
it.
understand that. Like, I feel like in your 40s, that's like where you really start to like
Mhm.
live and
Yeah.
feel free.
And you just
who
don't give a
are,
damn.
and
You gonna be
And
who
you
you gonna
very
be.
open-minded to everything.
you could
Yeah.
be concerned.
Open-minded to
I
everything.
think I want to go with you next year.
We
I
are. I
know.
was
Well, we're
telling
It's
gonna
her.
on
Yeah.
my bucket list to do.
That's what she told
yeah,
me.
like,
I was.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I didn't introduce because I
Yeah.
didn't know if you
no,
wanted.
yeah.
But I know she likes the island. I was like, we gotta do
I'll
it.
be out there.
Yeah.
I don't know about
Just
Jamie.
fitness.
Jamie's like gonna make excuses.
Why?
She
I'm
coming.
Oh, Jamie won't. You
no. I won't make excuses. I'm just,
You should dance. Listen, I had honestly a blast. It's an experience I think everybody should have at least
Yeah.
once.
said. I definitely want to do it.
Once.
Because in the Bahamas they have the junk canoe. I want to do the junk canoe so bad.
What is it
Yeah.
called?
Junk canoe?
Oh, but I would
Yeah.
just want
And
like
it's
more
the
clothes
same
on
kind of
than
festival. Yeah, I would
Why?
want more clothes. Yeah.
You would want what?
more
More
clothes.
Lord of
on.
mercy,
Really?
listen, child.
Yeah.
When that sun
Yeah.
is hot,
Yeah.
all you want is
But I'm
alcohol
just saying, I don't
to
want
be more
like
comfortable
and
Yeah.
naked.
feel
No,
dancing and
Yeah,
all
but
that.
they
She's
wear
saying.
like stockings. Usually
Mhm.
it's not, like your bare legs. Usually it's stockings. So like everything is kind of,
Mhm.
put together, right? It looks
Yeah.
shiny, it looks fit. You wear
Mhm.
sneakers. It's like
Yeah,
wearing a
that's
swimsuit.
Amazing.
It's like
She
going
said
to
still
dance
no.
class back in the day when you had to wear your leotards.
Oh, I
underneath
never
your
had that
bodysuit.
life.
Oh.
Maybe that's why. But I'm just saying, still, like I feel like for me, I feel more comfortable if I,
More
I don't
clothes.
want to be out there, no matter what. Like we talked about this before, like no matter what size, like I don't want to be out there with like everything shaking,
Yeah.
especially if you're dealing with somebody in a relationship out of
Mhm.
respect. So all that stuff,
Oh, that's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
Right.
So
So in my case,
Mm.
anybody that I'm open to dating, by the way.
Put it out
Open.
there.
I'm putting it out there. I'm kind of dating, but I don't want to say it, but I am.
this is our new single show.
Yes, exactly. We're not
We hook it
saying
up.
To find Dejan a man.
Yes.
no, actually not. So
Oh, a few. Okay.
Mm.
I have
okay.
a few on the list that I'm trying to check. But I'm just saying that it has to do with the person. But for me, anybody who I date has to love me the way how I am right now.
Mhm.
If you're not
of
secure
course.
enough of yourself, that's on you. That has nothing to do with me. Like I said, I don't want to repeat myself. I was in a conservative. I did whatever, and I still look end up divorced and single. So now let's be a hoochie mama, and you gotta love me the way how I am.
And she just want one here,
One here, one here. That doesn't mean I'm cheating.
What's the back gonna look like? Okay.
Nothing. Straight.
Straight.
Nothing.
Yeah,
For what?
No,
Straight.
sorry.
I can't do that
Nope,
either.
can't do it. So wait, Liz, you went to
Greece.
Yes.
How was
Went
that?
to Santorini, Athens, and Mykonos.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal. It is definitely.
The pictures are beautiful.
Yes,
Thank you.
that blue was
yes,
amazing
thank
on
you.
you.
I was
Yes.
nervous.
Can I ask a
about it.
question? Because I know everybody who goes to Greece, like they take those pictures, but they have like that dress with like the long. Is that photoshopped or is the dress?
No, the dress is
Oh, it's
like
actually
that.
like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So I went to this place that they actually had a changing room because sometimes you're like changing in the street, but this place actually had like a home per se, and you go in there, they put on the dress. They take you to all those beautiful places and they're throwing it up in the air.
Okay.
And there's
And
capturing
then they
it
taking the
as it's
pictures.
thrown in the air.
So you get the dress there. Okay.
The dress was just rented for the. It's like it's a part of the package.
Oh, for the photo.
Yeah, so I didn't
okay.
purchase the dress.
Okay.
But yeah, so obviously I did flying. Was it flying dress pictures? I guess
Those was beautiful.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
Thank you.
Yes.
And I was actually
Yes.
extremely sick in those pictures. I think I caught COVID the first 4 to 5, 6 days.
Oh, you
of
do
our
think it
trip.
was COVID?
I
Okay.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of it being anything else. I was done.
Oh God.
But we were fortunate, to
you
where
couldn't tell in them pictures.
No, you couldn't.
Girl, you look
after
beautiful.
that I
Ponytail,
slept
everything.
for like
Yes.
what's so funny is because like a lot of the pictures I feel like I have resting bitch face on, and Jack's like, well, you were miserable, but he's like, it works though,
It
because
works for the
for the
picture, yeah.
pictures you were
Stay
just
miserable.
mm,
You were you
Yeah.
you served face.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah,
definitely
for real.
was.
so
like,
it would have been totally
very bold.
different. I probably would have been my normal like ditzy kind of like silly self, but I was so just kind of straight face like
Yeah, the bone structure was
Amazing.
on point.
Yeah,
so,
Yes.
yeah, but
Yeah.
Greece is amazing. I definitely think it needs to be on everybody's bucket list. It's
It's on mine. I've
life
never
changing to
been.
see it.
Question: how's the water?
And the water, like the actual
temperature,
so
what?
we didn't do any of the water itself because it was still a little cold when we went. So
Oh, okay. Because you.
yeah, we went like early May and it wasn't hot
It
enough for
wasn't?
me.
Oh,
I was in
okay.
the pool, but not in the ocean.
Okay.
And then the one day that we were supposed to have a boat ride, I just was too sick, so I unfortunately missed it. So I didn't do the.
You
any
did
of
for
it.
what,
That's
10
so
days?
disappointing.
Yeah, it was like 11 days total.
Okay.
That's nice.
But totally worth it.
Yeah,
Like
you
I
have to
said.
go like.
Disconnect from everything.
Totally
too.
disconnect. And I don't. If you can do one or the other, I would personally do Santorini and Athens over Mykonos. It was just as beautiful, but if you only have a certain amount of time, Athens and Santorini
Okay.
definitely.
Well, here you guys go, travel agents for you.
Yes.
Call me if you need any
Yes.
detail on it. I can help you.
And then you just came back from.
Curacao.
Yeah, I never
Beautiful.
even know how to say that.
I never know how
A
to
lot
say
of
it.
Curacao.
like
Yeah, so
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a lot of
Curacao.
people though.
Yeah.
Like when we were saying we were going, people were like,
Where
where
is-
is it? Like it's not. I
Yeah.
guess not as popular.
It's
as a lot of
starting
other
to become
places, but it's
popular
starting to
now.
become popular.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. We were there for a wedding, but we extended the time just so we can spend some time together and just kind of with everything else that's been going on. And my daughter, Lana's graduated. Oh my God, she's a graduate
I
now.
know. You're getting
And going to
old.
college. So we needed them little couple days, but it was a beautiful, beautiful place. Now the resort we stayed on, the food was amazing. The resort was nice too, but it was small.
Is it like Caribbean?
And it was small, but they didn't have a lot of activities. So like I wouldn't go back there if I wanted to like really party, have a good time.
Okay.
But if you want to relax and just chill and beach and
Yeah.
That's it. That's me.
it was the
Relax
perfect place. And that was
and
good
chill.
for us.
And
'Cause
this
that's
is
what
why-
we wanted.
What you needed.
We didn't want like a party vacation.
Right.
We just really needed to wind down.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
was beautiful.
Because y'all always do the
Yes.
It
we
looked
stayed
gorgeous
in
too.
the
Your
boat.
pictures were amazing.
Thank
The
you.
wedding looked gorgeous too.
Yeah, it
so.
was. The wedding was
Oh, yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And they got a beautiful turnout. It was a lot of people. I think they might have had like 80 guests or so.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm the only one that
Destination
hasn't.
wedding?
70 guests for a destination wedding. It was really nice.
I'm the only one that hasn't gone anywhere.
Well, yours is coming up.
You're going.
Yours
Tell
is
us
coming
about your
up.
trip coming up.
It's in Jamaica.
Yeah, but this next month.
Why you saying like
It's in Jamaica.
it's in
So, Jamaica.
Another beautiful island.
Yes,
I know.
I love Jamaica.
Yes, I've never been, so
Where you
we'll see.
staying?
Not a
It's,
vibe, so-
Negril. We're staying
Okay.
at the Royalton.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's a nice.
When
trip,
you
too.
say we, what do you mean by we?
Right. That. Oh, I missed
Oh,
that.
do we have
I
update?
missed that, dude.
Please do tell.
on.
Yes, let's talk about
Because
this.
I'm
Because
hearing
we are a we.
Yeah.
we
Mike.
And
this,
we French now.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah. So I am in a relationship now. I didn't think that will ever happen.
And that's in between podcasts.
Yeah, in between a
Our
few.
last
Yeah.
podcast, we
Mhm.
wasn't in a relationship.
Yeah, see, we went on vacation, came back, and she got a man.
I know it came at a point where I was dealing with somebody for a little while, and I wasn't like locked in that because they just weren't showing, the things. It was very, I guess, toxic.
Excuse me.
That's what happens when you're dealing with a narcissist, But anyway, I don't want to throw any, shade at anybody.
Yeah.
It just wasn't for me.
Wasn't, right.
Because I just know what I bring to a relationship or to a person. And so it came at a point, I was like, you know what? I'm just over this. Like, I just said, screw it. I'm like, take me off all the dating apps. Like, I don't understand, And then next thing you know, I was like, oh, well, hello. And it's been, honestly, ever since, like, locked in ever since. So
It's been good.
I'm happy
Yeah.
for you.
I know. I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
the
too.
communication is on point. Like making me feel very like important, special, like doing kind things for me, and, including my kids, like all these things,
Yeah,
so
that's what
hopefully
I hear
Yeah,
butterflies.
I love the smile. And
Yes,
the
the
wig.
glow.
Butterflies.
Yeah.
Wedding bells, maybe, or something in the future.
yeah, I said the next relationship I get into is going to be like the last
Long
one,
term.
because I was dating with a purpose,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
like I'd rather not waste my time if I don't feel like it's something that is
I'm
gonna
dating
be
with an
long
open
lasting.
relationship. That's my purpose.
So it's so I mean, I know we all have different dynamics in our
Yeah,
relationships.
yeah.
So I thought this was actually really fun, really interesting. Let's talk about relationship myths. Okay.
Okay.
So there are some myths. This is a study done in UK, right? So it talks about everyone's relationship is different. But myth number 1 is love is shown through grand gestures and expensive gifts. Like people in long-term relationships tend to say that like small acts of kindness and appreciation are more important than like the big declarations of love. Like laughing together, enjoying like little small
I think that's when they
moments.
say people's love language, right?
Yes.
Like, what is your love language? Some people are givers, some people are receivers, some people want affection.
I'm all of it.
Yeah.
All of them.
Everything.
I want-
Everything about
yeah, I want all of them.
communication. Me
Yep.
too. I'm everything too. But what would
Spend
be your
time.
top? What would be your top love?
Physical touch.
Yeah, that's my top.
I guess. Yeah.
And not just like not like just sitting next to you and just like
Touching
that.
me?
Yeah, like
Touching me.
She's in a relationship now,
I
Brandon.
know.
You keep my distance.
Like,
watch those hands, girl.
Actually, you got some sense. I don't need him watching this and be like, "Yo, what's going on?"
Who is she?
No.
Why your friend gay for you? No, it's good.
What's yours, Liz? What's your love
I
language?
acts of service is my top one.
I can
Yeah.
1000% see that
Yeah,
with you.
acts of service. Like, it's just one of those things that I feel most appreciated when I see someone appreciating what I normally do, So
Okay.
it's one of those things where acts of service for sure. And then touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's
Yeah. I'm
definitely
not too much of a
affection.
touchy person though, which is interesting, but like I guess I crave it, but I'm
With your
really
spouse?
not. Yeah,
Right.
I'm not really like a touchy person.
Mhm.
Isn't that interesting?
That is
Well,
interesting.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I kind of skewed away from physical touch because I feel like all the little small things of making me feel important, like the acts of service, like the gifts,
Yeah.
like the words of affirmation, like let me know you're there, not just that you want to like be physical with
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
So I
It's
think
like the
maybe
little
that's
things,
why.
like my husband, he does the littlest things to like just grab my ear or just when
Right,
you're
like,
walking
it's like
by,
little
just
minimum
brush into
thing-
you,
yeah.
or
Smack
just
that
moving a hair,
Mhm.
and a smack in the ass.
Mhm.
But like
But
it's
just acknowledging
yeah,
you.
it's
Yeah,
just like
that's what I think-
those little
yeah.
things, and it's just like oh, like
Mhm.
and then when you walk by and it doesn't happen, it's like
Right.
Excuse me, do you not see?
come back here, hold on.
Do you not see all this
Do you not-
fineness
do you not
here?
see this,
Yes.
So, but yeah, it's
What about
important
yours,
to
D?
me.
Action speaks louder than words. That's how I always say it.
Okay.
Don't say you're gonna do something and not do it.
So it's like an act of service.
So that's act of
Yeah,
service.
act of service.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like we say in the islands, actions speaks louder.
Mm-hmm.
So not.
She
love
wants
physical.
the gifts, y'all.
No,
All,
it's not
no.
even the gifts. It's the kindness. I want to see. Let's see. Like we go to a restaurant. I want to see how you behave towards the waiter.
Yeah, acts of kindness.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I see you
Yeah.
acting some kind of how rude or you
Yeah.
think you're
Yeah.
better than them, I'm like, "Ay, papi."
Mm-hmm.
You
I
like,
poppy. Here
I
we
was like, "I'm
Here we
sorry,
go with
love.
that
You're
poppy.
cute. You're all of that, but you're not. If you don't know how to
Right.
speak to people
Right.
or humble yourself to put yourself in that in that person's shoes,
Mm-hmm.
then I shouldn't be around you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm more about, like, again, here we go, spiritual. I want to see how you act towards the other person, how humble you are, how, because this is just a phase. We all know that when we get older, when something, God forbid, an accident happened. Are
Right,
you
and
really
it
going to be
changes
just
your
in the
physical,
physical?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the physical that I attract to you, or what it is really deep down.
Right.
So when I get in a relationship, that's what I'm looking for. How humble are you?
It's a good one.
Yeah, no, it
what
is.
are all the love languages? What is it?
It's act of service, physical touch,
Uh-huh.
Words of
words
affirmation.
of affirmation, and gifts. It's
And gifts and
what's the fifth one?
So affection lies in where?
I think touching.
Is that-
affection isn't
No.
one of them.
No, I think it's that
that's what the touch.
Yeah, physical
Okay.
touch. Oof, I'm drawing.
I
a
know,
blank.
because you know why? Because there are so many. So love language, words of affirmation. Oh, quality time. That's what it
Quality.
was.
Time,
Oh, well,
quality
that's
time.
a
So
you know that's a
probably-
top
yeah,
one.
that's
too.
my top one then.
Yeah, I love.
I had to
just
remember
spending
what they were.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Quality
I
time,
like quality
definitely.
time. That's why I said I like them. I need them
Yeah.
all. I need
Yeah.
all of them. Don't lack in one and give me the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
I
me
agree.
when I was in Ireland.
Give me all.
Right?
Freaking
And even
five.
here, I like to
All
drink a
20.
glass of wine a
Oh,
night.
that's what you made them up.
I did.
2 glasses of wine, walk to the beach. Yes, I live in the islands now. I forgot to mention that. So I live in the islands and back and forth and watch Netflix. I know it sounds so lame,
No, it doesn't.
but
It
for
sounds
me, I'm
peaceful.
actually like,
Right.
Papi, come. Let's...
Poppy.
We know what
Yes.
happens at Netflix. So.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Yeah.
Netflix.
It ain't
Right.
Netflix. It's not Netflix and chill.
So what was the other?
So myth number 2 is sex is the most important thing in a relationship.
Hell no.
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 So it says communication is essential to a healthy relationship. So when they asked people what was the most important thing, people said like laughing together, sharing,
Yes.
values, interests, being best friends, things like that. Sex didn't even make like the top 10.
I think all of that you just mentioned falls under communication.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
of that is communicating
But I
with each
also
other.
think that is a segue to sex. Like if I'm sitting here laughing with you and
I'm
all
enjoying
these,
myself,
I'm enjoying
yeah.
myself with
Absolutely.
you and I'm being vulnerable with you, like that leads to great sex.
And then they also said feeling, being happy, feeling safe and secure and supported. And I think that is for me. I know what I need that. I need to feel
Most
that I
important.
have like somebody that I can look up to and they got my back.
Yeah.
Not as
Absolutely.
opposed to someone just like making me feel like I'm just out here like, fending for myself.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
agree with that.
No, I agree. I agree with that.
All right. So number 3 was having arguments is a bad sign. And so it says a lot of people value arguments, especially the small disagreements, because it helps them to vent tensions rather than let them build up. So I guess it's important to talk about these things, like even if it's a disagreement, it could be a healthy one.
Right, so that's what I was going to say. Like arguments, I don't feel that every disagreement is an argument. You can go back and forth and just don't, it don't have to be intense.
Right.
is
And
what
it's
I'm
I think
saying.
also too,
You know?
like how do you argue?
Right, exactly.
Because that's
Different communication
that
styles
is a
that
big
also
deal.
plays a
So
role.
if you're
Yeah.
demeaning
Yeah.
or yelling or throwing while you're arguing and all of that, that's not healthy at
Yeah.
all.
And then sometimes
Um,
people are so used to a certain type of like communication style that when they get into something else, that's how they respond. It's like, listen,
You're
let's just
already
talk
waiting
about
for
this.
it.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Or take a walk and come back.
yes,
That's what I
it's a
like to
good
do.
one.
I'd be quiet. It's like, I'll be back. What do you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
Be
good
back.
one.
As long as you
Yeah.
come back and you like
And
Have the
address it.
conversation.
yeah,
No,
you have
yes,
the
but
conversation.
take a 5
Yeah, have
minutes
that
because I've
conversation.
learned this. When you very angry or in the heat of the moment,
Yeah,
you say
emotional.
things that might
Mm-hmm.
hurt the other person. So I learned this. I just stay quiet, listen to you, and it's like, I'm not going anywhere. I need a time for a minute. Let me just go for a walk. Let me walk away and come back because I might not say something that you like.
Right.
Then I'm going to hurt you. And then when we are all lovey-dovey, you're going to be bringing it up.
Well, that's usually what happens. Like
And
people
I
don't
don't
allow
like
the
that.
other person that time to like give me that space really
Right,
quick so
to
I can get
process
my get
and
my thoughts together.
yeah.
As opposed to, well, you can't just walk away from an argument. But
We're
if I
having
respond
this,
emotionally,
yeah.
you might not like who I am
Well,
after
that's
that.
my problem. I'm
Mhm.
emotional. I'm definitely emotional.
So you
Now, I
respond in
don't
that,
ever, I don't demean or not name call or
Right.
anything like that, but I want to handle it right now when my emotion's high.
Mm.
And I think that comes from also how I was raised with communication and must be seen and heard like right now in this
Oh,
moment type
yeah.
thing. My other half, as y'all know, is logical, so they're gonna get their thoughts together and they're gonna
He's like, let me
figure it
write this
out.
down.
And
Okay, so you're telling me.
yeah, like so, but you learn how to communicate with each other, and you learn how to sometimes do it their way and sometimes do it your way.
Right. Well, what
But
do you
in the
feel?
end,
Is
Yeah.
like, why do you feel like you have to address it right in that second? Do you feel like it's not going to be
I
resolved if you don't? If you guys walk away and come back, or
that's
do
a
you?
good question. I think that I just don't like. I think I have a fear of losing people through anger.
Okay.
And I think that I want to say I know that I have a fear of losing people through anger. And I don't like that walking on eggshells and feeling like if something's not resolved, to me, it's like, let's talk about it.
Mhm.
Let's get through it.
Mm-hmm.
I also know that life be life and you can walk outside. I lost friends when I was young. I lost my
Mhm.
grandmom that way. So to me,
And not
it's like how
resolve
much time do you really need to really get through to something?
Mhm.
Like to me, it's like if we're not divorcing over it, we can just figure it out right now. Like why do we have to do it in 2 to 3, 4 days?
Because because some people may have a buildup of other things. So like you're not in a person's like headspace. So maybe I'm just maybe
yeah,
say
yeah.
your husband. So
Mhm.
maybe he had a long day. Somebody pissed him off. Maybe he got bad
Right.
news. He
Right.
hasn't even shared it with you
Right.
yet. And
Mhm.
so now there's an issue. You want to address it now. And he's like, I can't even like deal
Wrap
with
my
this
mind
right
around-
now
yeah.
because
Yeah.
like you're not going to get the best response from
I
me.
understand.
Mhm.
I totally get
Yeah.
it. It's just when you're in that emotional
Yeah.
space and it's just like,
I hear
no,
you.
we
I
have
used
to.
to
I
be
want to.
like
I
that,
want to talk
Liz,
Yeah, I
but
about
feel
it
like I was
now.
too.
I definitely used to be like that. It has to happen right now,
Yeah.
or But I don't know. I guess just because of certain arguments that just escalated, and when we look back at it, you're like,
It
it
wasn't
did
worth
not
it.
have to
Yeah, it
go
didn't
there.
have to be that way.
But then I reevaluate and I said, you know what? Because I wasn't in the right
Mhm.
space.
Mhm.
I needed time to kind of process. So now I'll take that time, or he may need a minute and walk
Mhm.
away.
No,
and come back.
it's
Now it's not gonna go days. We're gonna
right.
talk about
Mhm.
it.
Well, some
Yeah.
people do go days.
But
Yeah.
No,
but
when I
Yeah.
said
I
it,
can't
it
go
wasn't days. I
days.
was like, I'll be back in an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Give
and
me
I
2
think that's
hours. And
healthy,
like,
though.
I
Depends
think
on
that
the
is
person you're
healthy.
dealing
I
with,
think that
though.
is healthy
It
to say
yeah.
And the
to say
person, if
that.
the
block
person
them for
that
5
knows
minutes.
you, there comes communication. That person knows you. They know that you
Mhm.
need that time.
Right.
They know
Right.
that you'll be
And that's why I
back and have
say,
that conversation.
sometimes we can do it
Yeah.
his way, sometimes we gotta do it my way. It's that give and
Yeah,
take,
no, it's
And it
true.
still is like learning in my own healing and
Mhm.
understanding that I
Mhm.
need to be more calm in certain
Yeah.
things. But we don't fight much
Right.
about
Mhm.
anything
Yeah.
anyway.
Because like
So
temperament changes.
yeah,
It's funny because yesterday I literally just dealt with this because I had so many things going on, like with work, like my kids, trying to do this, do that. I'm in traffic. My car, my truck tire was acting stupid.
Mhm.
And so he was trying to like get me to like, he's like, look, just look at me and just like, it's okay. Like, and I was just like, can you give me just a minute? I just need a minute.
He was overloaded.
There was so many
You were
things going on, and I
overloaded.
literally was like, I just want to take my truck and just smash it into the wall. No, but I was just like, oh my God, just give me a minute. And
Yeah.
then I felt afterwards, I felt bad. I'm like, I didn't mean to project it
On
onto
that,
him,
right.
but I seriously just needed a minute. But he wasn't doing anything wrong. He was
Right.
literally trying to get me to like,
Right.
Calm
like it's
down
okay. He's like, I got like, look, we'll figure this out. Do this.
But you're also not used to that. You
I was
haven't
gonna
had
say
in
that
a while.
too.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You haven't had that. So once you start to have that more often,
Yeah.
you'll respond differently. But in
The
that
protection,
moment,
and when you
just,
have a man that protects you, it is something.
Absolutely.
It is. Oof.
Absolutely.
That's better than
Look.
sex. It is better than
Absolutely
sex.
is.
It is amazing to just understand.
Yes, beautiful.
I'm
After
telling
20
you,
something
like,
years.
oh
It
God,
is.
that man will be there for me. I can call him right now for anything.
We could all
I
call
mean,
him. Be like, we need
yeah,
you.
I mean, yeah, he is that type of person, but like, it's just I don't have to think when I'm with him. So like for her, you know, she's still in that survival mode of being single and having to handle stuff herself. Me, I'm just like, let me call Jack. Like I don't even think about it. This is what happened. Okay, no problem. Like I don't even have
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And he's like,
I would
I'm
be
here.
like a zoo animal put back into the wild if we broke up. I would know how to hunt and fend for myself.
No,
Nothing.
I saw a post. I think yesterday I saw a
I'd be
post
done.
about that single women as soon they
That's
enter a
hilarious.
relationship. This is what single women as soon they enter first time enter back in a relationship, they be fighting with you just because you let the toothpaste open or something like that. It's like I'm done. I'm just done.
That could be a Virgo trait.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm done. It's like, but what? The toothpaste? Let me put it. No, I'm done. I don't want to
Right.
deal with you.
Right.
Just for the sake.
I know.
And that's me. I'm like, you do
Yeah.
something like,
Yeah, because
It's
you're
hard.
single for
Yeah,
so
you
long.
just-
You're
right.
set in a
Okay.
certain way.
Yeah.
But you need a person that takes you out of that survival mode.
Yes.
You need a person that
Yes.
reassures you.
Yeah.
Teddy.
And I think that's that's
That is
both of
Teddy.
you guys
Yeah.
have that.
We
you
talk
know?
about that all the time because Jack and Teddy have a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
Like even we'll talk about little scenarios
Right.
and situations.
But
and,
that's a
and
real
her
man.
response to what Jack would, it's the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
that's a
it
real
really
man,
is.
like stepping in and saying,
Yeah.
"Listen, I got you.
Mhm.
Like you don't like you're
Yeah,
good. Like
yeah.
I got
I
you."
could fall asleep in the car, like no thought, no
Mhm.
nothing. You know,
Yeah.
like just something even that simple.
I know.
Mhm.
I have
As
that.
trust, you know, yeah.
so that's
I
beautiful.
can't
But
believe I have
speaking,
that.
speaking of this
beautiful.
myth, though,
For now.
I love the,
I'm
you
just
know,
joking. I'm just kidding, baby.
where it says about what did it say that it's healthy to have.
Yeah, so it's healthy to have it's healthy to have little disagreements, rather than have the tension build up and have like a big
Have a
explosion.
big, yeah.
I
So
agree.
it sounds like we all saying at some
Mhm.
point it's being addressed.
Yeah.
You just may need a little
Yep.
bit more. You may need a little more time than
Yeah,
Right,
no, I
than
like
the other
to,
person.
or whatever.
yeah.
But I think if you're truly being honest in a relationship, you're going to have disagreements.
Mhm.
If you're not having arguments or disagreements,
Right.
somebody is lying.
I think
in a
that's my
relationship.
biggest thing, is that I was in a relationship where we had very little disagreements. Like,
I mean, you can share a lot of and agree on a lot of things, but I just think naturally there's going to be moments when you just it don't have to be
Right.
arguments
Or
and
you're not being
intense.
true to
Yeah.
to not liking what he's
just
doing or your
agreeing.
partner's
Yeah.
or I
doing.
think
So
he
you're
just like
holding it
let me just
in,
do what I like.
or
let
he
me
just
ran
lets
the
you
shit.
do.
Right.
Like,
Somebody's not
yeah.
really
Yeah.
being,
yeah, you're kind
So
of
it's like, and then
ignoring it in a sense.
yeah,
like,
and then when you're single and you're so used to just answering to yourself, and then you get into a relationship, it's like, all right, well now I got to consider this other person.
Mhm.
So it takes a little bit of time
Yeah.
to
Yeah, it
adjust,
does.
but I'm
But
here
same
for it.
as Liz, we don't argue. We
Yeah.
very, very little. And
'Cause
if
it's
it is, it's
understood.
like a disagreement or, and sometimes I'll go on, and then I'm like, you know what? You got a point. You might be right. Like,
Like, why am I acting like a whole? What time of month
like,
is
you know
this?
what? You right.
Yeah.
So it's healthy.
And my excuse was like, other people smoke, drink, do this. I don't do anything. Like, I need something.
What's
Give
the
me a
next
gummy. No, all right. So
we
the
talked about this on the last
yes,
episode,
I
Jamie.
know. So myth 4 is you need to spend as much time as possible together.
Yes.
And so it says, so they're saying it's a myth. A good relationship sometimes involves getting closer together and then also moving further apart. For example, people can find that it helps to have separate interests or space, like have your time away from each other to miss each other, whether it's like with friends, because I guess if you spend a lot of time together constantly, it could cause you to like, it's like you guys are identifying with each other, like I don't know. It's like you're not having your separate.
I agree with that. You do have to have.
Yeah.
Me and Ted do a lot together. We're always together, but we also enjoy being together. So that's the difference too. But
Some people live apart too.
I have things
Oh,
with
that's beautiful.
friends and my sisters and organizations that I'm in that I think you need that balance. You need that balance. There's things that I might want to talk to you all about that Ted really, I could talk to him and he gonna listen, but he can't
not
really
gonna-
give me
yeah.
what I need in that
Yeah.
sense, So I think you do need that time, that balance time. Him, yes, go out with your boys. He needs that men time. You need
Now-
that man time.
Now, would he go on a guy's trip? Would you be okay with him going on a guy's trip,
Absolutely.
like vacation?
I don't care. Absolutely.
Okay.
He just went for the wedding. He was in the wedding. She was the groom. They went to Atlantic City for the whole weekend. I mean, it wasn't a way, but I wouldn't care if he goes
Yeah.
away somewhere. I don't. That doesn't. Things like that don't bother me. But that's trust in a relationship.
Yeah,
you
because
know?
would you be
That
okay?
would be
Yeah.
trust.
Yeah.
I have
Yes.
no problem with that.
Yeah.
Because
I'm
some
not
people
in a
aren't
relationship,
okay.
but
And
I
he
would
doesn't
be
either.
okay.
He doesn't care if I go away on vacation.
You just
Yeah.
can't go to
Friends
Colombia.
or whatever.
Why? Why Colombia?
Dominican Republic.
What Colombia and DR? What goes on in Colombia and DR?
We heard.
Yeah,
Okay.
No, but
Well,
even those locations.
First
I mean, you
check is the
gotta-
clinic. No,
Yeah.
no.
That's assuming that.
I'm just
No,
kidding.
I think it's healthy.
Yeah,
I think
no, it
that,
definitely
I
is.
think that we have to make time for ourselves so
Mhm.
we don't lose our own identity.
Yes.
We have to continue to like our own hobbies and create new hobbies and do our own thing away from each other and celebrate each other in the process, but like do our own
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
Jack and I are the same, though we're like best friends and we're constantly up each other's ass. But like in that same time, he was able to get his education and, do his own stuff, create his hobbies, bike clubs, whatever it may have
And then
been.
you support one another.
And I
And we
support
see
him
that.
through it. And then vice versa, my running, whatever it may have been, my education, all those different things that this podcast, all these different things that we've done, he's been able to support it, but it's mine.
Right.
So I think it's extremely important. So I don't want to lose my
Yeah, I think it
identity.
keeps
I don't
for
wanna-
And I
Communication
love
then
that
is
you
the key.
said that
Yeah.
identity because I definitely, we talked about that before. It definitely became a point in my life where I was like, who am I
Who am
without
I?
my husband?
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Or without my children. Like, what do I like? What do I want to do? What things am I interested in?
Right.
And I had to really kind of take me back. Like, okay, let me spend some time without my kids, without my husband,
Yeah.
and figure it out. Figure out what excites me.
Because if you don't know who you are, it's really hard to you're really just doing stuff for everybody else.
Right.
Like
Mhm.
you're just
fall into that.
Yeah, you're falling
fall
like
into
okay,
that.
I'm this, but then it's like at the end of the day when eventually when kids all leave the house,
Yep.
say something, God forbid something happen, and you're
my
by
case,
yourself, then what? Then
In
who
my
are
case,
you?
Who are you?
Yeah.
That's why I said in my case that
Yeah.
now my kids are older than most of you guys. They're not my boy, but my girl sometimes think that I have to be there to be a nanny sometimes 24/7. I'm like, I'm young.
Right. I got my
That's
own
right.
Like, I
stuff
got my
going
own
on.
life. So that's why, like I said, I decided I love this. What we talking about, the topic. My space is I start dating. I'm 2 weeks in St. Martin, 2 weeks in the States. Whoever's gonna date me don't want to deal with it. That's their problem. It's not selfish.
She might leave you in St. Martin or she might leave you in the US.
She might have 1 and 1.
No, I don't care about one unless we're in an open relationship, and you're okay
Hers
with
open
that.
relationship.
Listen,
dropping it.
Are you really ready for an open relationship?
I am. I'm actually
Real
She
quick,
keep
would you
dropping
be
it.
okay with him? Like, I understand your viewpoint, so you can date, but would you be okay with him dating multiple women? I'm sorry, I can't come and spend the weekend with you because I'm over here with Diana.
I don't have that
imagine.
capacity.
honestly,
I don't.
I wasn't thinking about that way.
See?
Yeah, you have
That's
to.
why I said.
Like, open relationship is like, don't tell nobody what you're doing. Like, if you're gonna tell me I'm hanging out with this person, I'm like, okay, cool. I think I'm okay with it.
What you
But-
mean? Don't tell nobody what you do. Oh,
Like,
Oh, so
don't
don't say who that you're gonna I can't this weekend.
No, you can go, but don't make it public.
to you or to
Oh.
other people.
Don't put it in social media. Don't do
Okay,
Oh,
so
that
you
you
want
have
to be
multiple-
the main,
Yes.
and then it's okay to just have little side pieces, but
there.
it's
I'm
secret
not.
side
I'm satisfied
pieces.
with by myself. But I'm just
So
saying.
you already
like,
probably had that.
I
I
don't
didn't know it.
No, I don't see that with D. D done talked 1,000 times about she want to be the only one.
Yeah, I am.
this and that.
I'm the main chick.
I'm confused on where this openness desire came from.
So
You know what?
something happened something happened that I don't want to talk about it. When I was back home, and I hit home, and then I realized life is short.
Mm-hmm.
So it changed
Sadly.
your perspective on relationships. Okay.
Yes, I decided do what makes you happy
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
because we're here and we're gone tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So that hit home, and that made me realize why we fight, why we argue, why is life so complicated and so simple at the same time. So if that what makes you happy, then go ahead and do it. If it doesn't hurt me, and I'm actually talking to somebody, and that's the first thing I told them. Are you open? Because I travel a lot. I don't cheat. But if I am, not say I'm cheating, but if I say like, oh, I want you
You don't want to be in a monogamous relationship. You want to
exactly
just
because
be free
until I'm
and-
not ready,
Mm-hmm.
I'm fooling you and I'm fooling myself.
Mm-hmm.
So like maybe I'm in still survival mode. Maybe that's the problem. I'm like, I don't know
especially
if
when things are fresh. You know, like it's okay to
I
be
would
in
just want to test the
survival.
waters how
Yeah.
far they could go with me.
Yeah.
That's the thing too. I asked him like, you want to open a relationship? Let's set rules. This is within it. Okay, you guys, you're not allowed to do no social media.
Mm-hmm.
You're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to do that. And it's not like being a mommy or figure. It's just like have respect for me.
But I think that the key is you guys are both on the same page, and we
Yes.
talked about that before. Is like you both, if it works for you, then it works for you. So if you present that to somebody and they're considering it, and they're like, okay, well, all right, let's see how this works, and if it's fine, then okay, good. But I think you sometimes don't know until you try it. Some people
Exactly.
know for sure that
Right.
like
either nay or
there,
yeah,
it's not
yeah.
going to happen.
I haven't tried it, but that's what I'm putting out there because
You trying it now?
Yeah, I'm like, let's see how this goes. If I might just change my mind, like, no, this is not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the good
yeah.
thing. You're allowed to change your mind in life.
Yeah.
You know, so if it's not for you, it's not for you.
Right.
I just have a concern that I'm just like worried that you're protecting yourself by wanting an open relationship.
Survival.
That's
I was
gonna
gonna-
survival
yeah.
mode.
Yeah.
That's like
And I
so
feel
Yeah.
like I feel
Just
like
kinda-
right now you're moving on emotion. Like
Yeah.
I just want you to really think about what it is that you want and
somebody
will
think I'm so
accept.
over my feet, like, but it happened and it was like taken away. So
Yeah.
No,
No,
I just want you.
understand.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Liz, like when hearing you talk about and knowing your perspective before this, I just want you to really give it some thought and.
But
you
listen,
know.
we all here for the stories. So
Absolutely.
And you
Live
know
it up,
what?
girl.
I
Live it up.
also,
Absolutely.
I also
and if
think
it works
that
for you,
if
I'm
it
happy
works,
for you.
yeah,
you know?
for
I
sure.
just want you to be,
Yeah.
you know.
I think at the end of the day, like we always want to make sure we're protecting ourselves, especially when we don't have a person that we feel like we can go to for protection.
Right.
And I think that like we guard ourselves because it's a coping strategy.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's okay to not put all your eggs into one basket. You know, it's okay to like kind of pull back and say, listen, this is what I know I can't give you. So this is what you can get from me right now.
Right.
And it's okay. So if that means like we're openly dating different people, then okay, cool.
Yeah. And
You know, then we're
agree on
openly
the same
dating.
rules, and that's
Speaking
what
of
it is.
which, did you guys see how the person? I'm going to tell a story, make sure I get it right. I think we were talking about it. But there was a person who went on a date with a gentleman, and the gentleman found out that she was going on another date afterwards. And he ended up saying, "You know what?
Ugh.
I'm done. I don't want to, see you. You're
'Cause
seeing
she
other
was dating
men."
somebody else.
the first
Um,
date,
First
Second?
date.
I
First
ain't no
date.
puppy bye. You just
Right.
I'm just like, well,
do you
are you
think
like you
that
putting
if you're
rules?
dating one person that you need to stop all dates?
Right.
Why?
Listen, that's the
But
I
that's
agree
what's
with you.
out
So
Like,
there.
why?
Yeah.
I had that experience. I actually
Dumped him.
went.
You did.
I actually met somebody, and we communicated like on a dating app, whatever. So we communicated and good conversations, everything, flowing. We were gonna make plans to meet. We did, but prior to us meeting, he said, if you're entertaining other men, I think you should stop now. And I was just like, well, I don't really know that I like you. I don't go off of like, oh, just because somebody looks good and, that I'm ready to lock them in. Like,
Right.
I'm just not, that's not me. I want to see how you handle life. Right. And so when he said that, I was cautious about that, but we went on a date and he was very much like, I'm not okay with you going on any other dates with anybody else. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Yeah.
I'm ready to
Right.
change my dating status
Right.
and all that. And I'm not, if you want to go on a date, go ahead. Like,
Narcissist, sucker
Right.
alert. What else? I
Yeah,
see
so
all the red flags.
yeah, so he's blocked.
But that's
Control
common.
freak.
It's common. I've heard that a lot. That people want to stop. Like basically, we date and you can't date anybody else.
That
That's
sounds
it.
desperate.
And not just men, women too
Yeah.
expect that.
He
Like,
said
you
that
should
he
only
wanted
do
to
what
only
they
date
do.
me, and I'm just
Yeah,
like,
how does
okay,
he-
but you
how
don't
do you
know.
know that?
Yeah.
Like, how do you know? Because I had the nice
So
So
perfume
when do
on.
you
Like what?
determine? Well, I was about to say, when do
Yeah.
you determine like once you're dating somebody, how many dates in do you determine like, okay, we need to just
I think
focus
it's
on
a
each other?
feeling.
That's what I think.
And
Yeah.
so what I've realized is
Yeah.
that so the person I'm dating now, like that I'm actually in a relationship with now.
Say it, girl.
Mhm. Hallelujah.
And
Amen.
the smile with it every time. I love it.
legit from the first date we started talking,
Uh-huh.
like it's been very
It's a
consistent.
feeling.
So I said, this is what he must have felt, the other
When he
guy, that
told you.
when he told me that, because I'm like, we've been like, locked in,
It
and
didn't take
Right.
long
and
for this one.
Right.
yeah, it didn't take long. It was just something I just knew, like I didn't want to talk to anybody
And
else.
you knew, yeah.
I knew.
Yeah. But you decided that.
But we both,
Right.
but we were both on the same page because he
Mhm.
felt the same exact way.
Right. But I mean,
And
he didn't
he
tell
would be
you
okay.
that. He didn't tell you what the
Yeah,
other guy
no.
told you. Right.
Mm-mm.
It was just something that happened mutually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's
Yeah.
a feeling.
Yeah.
I think there's a number of dates that you
Yeah,
stop
like,
dating somebody.
I don't know. If I was in this dating world, I don't think I would stop.
You would leave.
I would exit
That's
out
what
the
I'm
back
being told.
door and say never again. No, but I don't think that I would feel the need
No.
to, until we have the conversation that
Mhm.
we're going to have a monogamous relationship or whatever we're going to
Mhm.
have moving forward.
Right.
I don't think, and especially being an adult, especially being at this
No.
point in my life,
Right.
like,
And
no,
the first
That's
time,
what I
the
say.
first
Yes.
time
That's
I
high
did-
school
yeah.
stuff that you
Right.
do. Like that's high school. You still in that mentality
it's
that we
controlling.
back in high school in your 20s
Yeah,
and you
I
have
read
no common
that.
sense
Yeah.
because we all young.
Right.
When you're
I've
too
heard
young, you
that
stupid.
before.
I read
though,
that
too,
and I
Liz.
was just
Yeah.
like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So we
That
we
wasn't the
caught
first one.
all options
I've heard it
off of
before.
one date.
Oh,
That
wow.
wasn't the first. That wasn't the first person who.
So that's what I'm thinking.
That's what
think
I
it's a
get. I get that all the
desperate
All the
need.
time.
It's desperate.
Yeah.
You're doing it out of
Yeah.
So I feel
desperation.
like that's the biggest red flag.
And that's
I
what I'm
think
like-
that's we need to take 2 steps back if this is how you feel.
And-
Right.
And
Mhm.
out of experience, it's a big one. Don't do it. That was somebody who I was dating from.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, da, 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 and then cycle.
You know what? You know what really bothers me though is that when there are guys who do that, who don't want you entertaining anybody else, but they are literally entertaining every
Everybody.
other woman. They don't want you to bring up you can't even give them, like, tell them, oh my God, I just got hit on by this guy at the gas station. They don't want to hear about any of it, but they're literally dating
Or doing it
every
behind-
state.
Mhm.
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
I don't think it's for you to understand.
Yeah.
It's just not somebody for you.
Like,
Yeah.
why not just, guys, why, okay, why not just say, listen, I know I can't commit to you. I'm not ready to commit 100% to you. So, like, do what you want. But I don't understand. Guys, they want to keep, like, and it's like multiple women that they are saying these things to, that they
Yes.
want to keep locked in.
You're playing
I'm
them
not dating
games.
anybody. Yeah, it's like, if it's,
Because they don't want to share you. But
Right.
they, that's
like,
ultimately
but
what it comes
if it's
down
for
to.
sport, it's just for sport. Let's
They don't
all be
wanna
out here
share you.
sporting.
Mm-mm.
I just
Mm-mm. That's not how
give
they
people
see
the option.
it.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
not how they see it.
And then when you're
Mm-mm.
spoken like me, then I got a problem.
Oh yeah.
I'm the one with the problem
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
you're too independent. You're too this. You're too that.
I feel like you're
I-
too old to be
Thank
doing
you.
that.
Yeah.
You hit
If
the
you're
point.
in your 40s,
You hit the
even
point.
50s, whatever, like, and there's a point where you want to settle
60s,
down.
70s.
Yeah, like you're
Now, they're like,
Pop, knock it off. Pop,
like, come on, like, where you going?
Like-
You maybe got good 10 years, maybe, and just pushing it. If you could get it up with Viagra, maybe.
Viagra done changed the game.
Listen.
Right,
It's
but
old
like,
man.
just I don't understand.
They
Just
can
say
still
what
play
it
in it.
is.
You trying
If
to
you
make
can't
it make
come,
sense, Jay.
yeah,
That-
like
Yeah,
I
it
just,
doesn't.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't make sense.
and then
that's
and
their
then if
insecurities.
yeah,
I
it
feel
is.
That's what it is. It comes
Yeah.
down to their control and their insecurities.
And then guess what? You lose me, and now what? I'm somebody else's.
Now she's somebody else.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah.
Next
That's
one.
what happens. All right. Myth number 5. Okay. Your partner should complete you. This is actually interesting. So it says, while partners are definitely important in each other's lives, your life was not incomplete before you met them.
Ooh,
Right,
that's
so
a tough one.
Was
Just-
not complete.
Was your life was not incomplete
Incomplete.
before you met them. So, they say like, oh, you complete me. And I think that it's like almost like a cliche kind of thing to say, but
You add.
just as it won't
I don't know.
be incomplete if you were to break up. So it's always good to have boundaries and have hobbies at a time that you spend apart, kind of which we already talked about.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
That's a loaded question, but I mean, well, not a question, but that's a loaded statement. I think I was young. I was incomplete. My life became complete when we got together and we
But you also
created-
learned. Yeah,
Right,
you learned.
right.
You guys grew together, though.
Right,
Because
but
you were
that's-
so
but that's
young.
what they're saying.
That's
your
what they're
partner
saying,
completing
that
you.
your
I
partner
feel like my
completed you.
partner has completed me. Do I feel like I would be incomplete if we split up? Yeah, I do. I feel like there would be a piece that would
It's a
be
piece
missing,
missing. Mhm.
and that maybe someone else would be able to fill that
It's a
piece
piece
back
missing.
in.
I hope you
Maybe,
don't hear
maybe
this.
not.
That's not
It's a
gonna be the
But
same.
no,
You
but it's
built
just
so
It's never
much.
gonna be the same.
Yeah, I
Like
mean-
your whole life
right.
is
That's what I'm saying.
surrounded
I was
around
20,
this person.
21.
Yeah,
Like
same
now,
here.
if I'm, at this point in my life, yeah, I got my
Yeah.
career, I got my education, I got my house, I got this,
Like, can you move on without that
but-
person? Yes, but yeah.
And I think
hear what you're
I think
saying.
really
No.
with this, and I guess I view it as differently because I feel like no matter what, I'm always going to be good. Like, for me, right? And I think that how I took it as people find happiness in other people, and so they don't have their own happiness unless they have somebody else around. Like, unless they have this person there. So it's like, if I'm with somebody and, I'm just like, all right, listen, cool. Like, we're not going to do this. Fine. I'm going to go live my life and
but
figure it
with
out.
that-
But like,
with that, Jay, though, like, because you're saying, because I don't know, I guess I'm looking at it like when you say complete. So what you're saying is you can still live, you can still move on, you can still survive, you can still do the things you were doing. But if there's a person in your life, like Liz is saying, that you spent your
Life.
half your life with 20 years old, same here. I was 20 when me and Ted married. I was 18 when we met. Everything that I've built, created,
with that
like,
person.
is with that person. So yeah, if we were to split up or whatever, I can live, I can take care of myself, I can do all of
It's
that.
not the
But I
same.
feel like there's still something that is missing,
Yeah.
that I built, like, even part of who I am, like,
and I think
Yeah.
maybe
like,
that
Yeah.
maybe it's probably different
what
for
it
people who've
means
been
by
in long
complete.
relationships
That's what
as
I'm
opposed
Yeah,
to
maybe.
And I
shorter.
don't know, like, we were so young, but that's why I was saying, like, if Jack and I met today, I would feel like I was a completed person at
Right.
that point meeting him because I put in
Yeah.
the work for the last
Right.
40 years
Yeah.
of my life of, hopefully, healing and doing all that process to be where I need to be. But back then, no, we
I don't know. I didn't know
we
who
done
I was.
healed together, we cried together, we fought together, we loved together, we got our education, we got our family, we got our house. Everything that was built from that was built together. So I was very broken and incomplete before I met Jack, and he was a huge purpose or reasoning why I am complete today.
Down to your favorite places, like, where you like to
Yeah.
go.
That
was a
you
mic
know,
drop.
that's-
Yeah,
did
20
that, you know,
plus
like,
years. Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah,
favorite things
I
to
was too
do,
young.
like, you learn
But
all
do I
that.
think that that's like mandatory? Is
like
that
just so
part of
not
it?
life. Well, it wasn't. It's just they're just saying that people, if you met somebody, I guess your life is still like some people I think take it to the extreme where it's like I can't live
Right.
if I don't have you in
No,
my
yeah.
life.
I mean, I could live. I could live. I would have to
Yeah.
live. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
You
Like,
said
some
it.
people
You
do
have
take
to.
it to
You
that
don't
yeah,
have a choice.
like
Yeah.
Sometimes you just don't have a
there's
choice.
other things that go on,
Yeah.
so you push
Yeah.
through, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's
I
a
mean, maybe
loaded
it's
one
saying,
though.
like, you're
Yeah,
a
it is. I
complete
think it's just
person,
mind-
but
yeah.
there's, because I don't know. I think it is a loaded
It's a
like,
mindset. I think it's mindset
and how you're
and how
interpreting it, like,
Mhm.
when
Yeah.
you say complete, like,
Right.
I'm a complete
And I know
person.
we've all seen the
like I'm not happy unless I'm with you.
well,
It's
Right.
like-
right, and
I
I
think
know
the
we've all
term
seen that
of it.
Will
Yeah,
Smith
right,
making
there
that
you go.
comment saying, "I'm no longer going to be making you happy. You have to be happy for yourself and whatnot." So I do agree. Like, you have to work on your own happiness and you
Absolutely.
having your own joy and you being
Absolutely.
happy.
Like you can never get if that person's
I can't
not in
count
your
on
life.
Jack to
Right.
Yeah.
create me and to make me happy. I have to find things that make me happy. But
And I think
he's-
Right.
that's
he's a
how I
prop-
took it more
That's
so.
how,
part
yeah,
of
that's
it.
what
Yeah.
I, yeah, that's
So it
what I
could
was
be.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Myth number 6: monogamy is essential.
Y'all know how I feel about this one.
Okay, monogamy. I'm monogamous. Okay, that's all I got. I just
She
want to
always
put.
got to throw disclosure out.
I just want to put the disclosure out there. Yes, okay, I am monogamous. Trust me. Don't. Okay. All right. So monogamy is essential for a successful relationship. So what it says is that some people being monogamous, which is being committed to one person, is not necessary for a happy and healthy relationship, and they opt for non-monogamous relationships. So casual relationships where there's less commitment are more popular and can be great for some people.
I think it's interesting that they said less commitment because I don't think it's a less commitment thing.
Because
when
you guys
people are
both have equal
non-monogamous.
commitment.
I think it's still the same commitment.
What
Non-monogamous has the same commitment. Like it's just a different commitment.
I think it would be like that if somebody's in a non-monogamous relationship and doesn't know it. Like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes
Right, like
there's
that's
just less
That's
commitment.
cheating.
Yeah,
That's
but
cheating.
Yeah,
That's
that-
not-
I mean, it's,
Right,
it's
but-
technically non-monogamous, right?
But that's
You're
my
cheating,
point,
You're still
yeah.
non-monogamous.
No,
yeah,
if you
but
speak, like, that's what we had the
Yeah.
conversation
Yeah.
for. I'd rather tell you, like, say, okay, I'm open. Let's see.
Yeah.
But I am being honest with you. I'm not saying,
Right.
oh, I'm
Right.
just with you, and then behind your back,
Right.
you see me, I'm like,
and I think the commitment is still in the honesty.
exactly.
And I think it's the same level of honesty whether you're committed or totally committed monogamy versus non-monogamous. I guess I'm kind of sticking my foot in my mouth with that one. So let me take those words back.
I know what you're saying, whether
non-monogamy versus monogamy
monogamy.
is still a commitment of being honest and truthful and transparent with your partner. And you know, I think that is what makes it work.
Right, because you guys are both on the same page.
Because
Right,
if you're monogamous and not being real with each other, it's not going to work. And if you're non-monogamous and not being real
Like
with
somebody's
each
not
other,
being
it's
loyal
gonna
to the
work.
other
Exactly.
person.
I
Yeah.
agree with you.
Yeah.
All right, myth number 7. A great relationship is easy. So it says relationship, it has like a battery pack. Relationships require time, effort, and commitment for them to be healthy and happy. We often expect relationships to be effortless like we see on TV and in books, but relationships require hard work,
Lord of mercy,
particularly if it's going to be a long-term relationship and you'll always encounter challenges along the way.
yes. That is true. I agree with
That's
that.
true.
100%.
That is true.
That just drops the mic there.
Yes.
Nothing else
I
needs to be
know.
said.
Especially with age.
If it's worth it,
Yeah.
it is. It's worth. I said this is. I don't know if this is the correct word. It's worth fighting for because ain't nothing out here.
But what I will say is, if the relationships aren't supposed to be hard all
the time.
like that's not
Right,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like you're gonna go through
I
challenges.
love that you said that.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be hard to try to stay together, like or to
Challenges.
try to make it work. That's just not working. Then if you're
Yeah.
constantly going through things and constantly fighting and constantly having
Right.
arguments and
Then how are you? You're
challenges,
supposed to
then
be.
you're
You're supposed to help each other be better. Like I don't understand how
that's
that.
not a relationship. Like
That's
that
when
to
the
me,
communication, I think, is lacking. When
it's a whole
hard.
lot. You
Yes.
just
But
personality
yeah,
wise
I
and
feel like
everything.
it's more than just communication. I feel like it's viewpoints.
It's
Yeah.
totally. Oh yeah.
Like
yeah.
everybody has their own different view. It doesn't matter. If a
Absolutely.
person doesn't see something a certain way, even if they're listening to you, it in their mind they're fixated on something. It's
Right.
not gonna change.
Right.
Like
So maybe changing that to say rather than to say relationships being hard, but it takes work.
yeah.
Not
Exactly.
whether it's not necessarily hard, but it takes work.
Different
sometimes,
seasons.
I say
different,
relationship-
changes and
It doesn't matter what relationship you in, mother and daughter, family,
I agree.
kids,
Friends,
any relationship,
Yeah.
romantically,
It's all gonna
it
take
takes
It takes
it
work.
takes work
I don't
because
think it
we
should
don't
be hard,
argue.
though.
Sometimes you love your kids, sometimes you
yeah.
want to like.
Yeah. It's different.
Yeah.
You wanna strangle them.
personalities.
Yeah.
So, hey,
Like this.
hey,
This
hey. They might not even hear it on there. They'll be like, "What is she doing?"
Exactly. So it does. So I agree.
Yeah. It takes work. I don't
Yeah.
think it should
Yeah.
be hard though. I don't agree with the hard stuff.
Work. It's just like
Well,
water.
you know
in a
what? I
pan.
feel like and it goes back to like pretty much my viewpoint on being intentional. When you're intentionally like with somebody, like your purpose is a whole lot different than if you're just in something because you're bored or it's nice to have somebody to cuddle. Like if you're intentional about this, like what comes with a long-term relationship, that means you're gonna try to fix the hard stuff that you guys go through. You want to have the tough conversations. You know that it's not always going to be easy. You know that you're going to have to be selfless at certain times, and maybe other times it might require a little bit more selfishness. Like you just have to be understanding and
It
so
challenges.
That comes with a lot of growth, though.
It does.
And
It
I
does.
think that's where it can be hard.
Yeah.
growing into something that you're not normally used to and breaking cycles is hard.
Oh yeah.
Emotionally mature.
And that's personally too.
That's
like,
a personal,
you
yeah.
gotta figure out if that's what you
Right.
are willing to change
Yeah.
and do. And that's like hard within you, changing you. Not necessarily the
Right,
relationship.
that's true.
Especially if you feel if it's like you're
It's
doing
hard for
something
me.
wrong,
Right, yeah.
and it's like, well, I don't want to admit that I'm doing something wrong, but like it takes a whole lot of vulnerability for you to like get outside of yourself, so you can see this is what you need to change. This could help you.
Right. And not to mention, I think that we all come in, well, we do. We come into relationships, and you have how you were raised, and you have how this other individual was raised, and you come together. And of course, my way's right and his way's right. You guys have to figure out what is right for your family. And I think that sometimes is lost. It's a hard conversation to have. And
ego.
it's a lot of,
Sometimes like you don't want to admit that
it could be ego, it could be trauma, it could be,
I think
all
it's
kinds
coping,
of stuff,
yeah.
right?
Ego.
But, I think that's one thing that we always talk about, what can we learn from each other? But sometimes you have to unlearn certain behavior to make certain things work. And I think unlearning is the hardest part. Just about your own individual growth and within a relationship growth.
Yeah, I agree
the
with that.
unlearning.
Yeah, building new neural pathways. Sorry, guys, I train on that. Trauma in the brain. All right. And the last myth that it talks about is a relationship is about putting their needs above your own. So even in a relationship, you still need to prioritize your needs. If you're always trying to look out for someone and put their needs first, then obviously that's great. But then what happens? Like, if they're doing the same for you, if they are, logic says that you'll probably meet somewhere in the middle. There might be some times where you're giving a lot more, but then there's also times when you're giving a lot more instead. I mean, we pretty much talk about this.
Yeah, and that's so hard though because I'm a giving person.
Me
so,
too.
You know,
I'm like a
that's
pleaser.
your right. I'm a pleaser. I'm a
You know?
like my initial reaction is that what do you need? What do you want? What do you what's going to make you happy? But I think that's all in balance in a healthy relationship because your partner should be feeling the same way. So then both needs are being met anyway.
I think that's going to be, I wouldn't say it's going to be a challenge, but that's, I think, a little bit of what I'm seeing now is like, he wants to do everything for me.
And that's beautiful.
I know it is like,
and then you want to do everything for him.
Yes. And so it's like, he's like, I don't want you doing, I don't want you. I'm like, okay, I'm not just a princess. Like I can do stuff. Like,
Girl,
I can pick up.
You're stepping into your feminine energy. Let it happen. Stop that masculine. Put it on the side.
No, but see, I'm a very independent, driven person. So there's times when like I don't want that to ever take over. But just like you want to do for me, I want to do for you. So we got to compromise.
Yeah.
Like we got to come to some type of agreement. It's okay. Like. It's okay if I do the dishes.
Learn that
yeah.
too, though. I think that's going to be a learning curve
You'll learn.
to learn.
He just wants me to sit there and just.
Yeah. But sometimes it could be a personality. Like you guys are saying, you're both givers and whatnot. But there's some things that I think I do that Jack could care less about that I do, and then vice versa. Like it's a personality thing. Like we appreciate it or whatever, but it's not like for me. I don't really like gifts. I don't really care about gifts, and I'd rather that going on vacation or having experiences or learning something new or Netflix and chill, but like to actually give me something is just not something that I really feel I need versus, and we were going back to the language, affirmation is like his thing, I don't need you to tell me I'm doing a good job. Like it's just not something that I necessarily need to hear.
But I think that men probably need to hear that more often.
Probably, but I'm just saying in a sense of like going back to that myth of give and take. Like there's just some things that I give because I know that fills his versus
his bucket,
me. I don't care. Like I'll give it all day long because I know it's what you need. You don't even have to do it to me one time. I just don't need to hear.
Right. Yeah.
I don't need the pat on the back. It's just not something that I require.
That's a requirement for
you.
So screw those relationship myths.
Okay. Do what's right in your unit. In your unit.
What works for you? What works for you? What causes your relationship to thrive?
Agree.
And be happy and not have so many hard
and have grace. Grace for
oh my
your
God,
partner
I love
as
that.
you go through it.
Grace is so important. Grace is that woman, I tell you. No, I'm playing. No, sorry. It's just, I saw a little. Anyway, no, grace is important because it allows you to take a step back to see what the other person needs or what they, let them like live in their moment. I do want to end this with I thought this was very interesting. I have heard this before. However, I think it might just be important for everybody to
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Yes. So sperm is a natural
She starts with the word sperm.
Yeah,
Yes.
sperm is a natural antidepressant, okay? So I'm just gonna say, I don't know, just
I've never been
keep it-
depressed a day in my life. No.
Studies suggest that semen can have natural antidepressant properties because it contains chemicals that help improve mood, happiness, sleep quality.
I've heard this before.
Yeah, so
I've
just
heard
like
this before. It said it has protein and everything in there.
Yes, especially
That-
protein.
I've heard this before.
That's where the
protein.
ego come from.
but I did look it up. The protein is it's a very small amount of
It's small.
protein. So I don't know if you're going to be able to survive if you're on like a naked and afraid or like, or like an island and that's all you got to eat. I don't know. Anyway, guys, thank you for sharing.
This is how we ending it. Thank
Yes,
you. Thank you for joining.
Subscribe, like,
Safe sex.
comment,
Don't listen to her.
Safe sex.
Safe
sex.
sex. Ooh, lots of sperm.
Bye.
So long.